Good morning. Hello. Hello, guys. How are you in this rainy, cloudy day? How do you feel? How are you guys? Hello, hello. Is someone there? Do I have students here right now? Hello, good morning. Good morning, Ale. Good morning, Daniel Aleman. Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Diego Comandari. Good morning, Mr. Vallejo. Good morning, Rosita. Hello, how are you? Good morning, Alice, Sara. Thank you. Thank you, Rosita. Good morning, and Cindy. Good morning. Hello, Dieguito. How are you guys? I hope you're doing excellent in spite of the weather. I hope you are great. Good morning.
Morning, teacher.
Good morning, Mariana. Beautiful.
Happy Teacher's Day.
Oh, thank you, Mariana. You're an angel. Thank you, sir.
And how are you today?
Well, a little bit cold because of the weather. It hasn't stopped raining since last night. Hasn't stopped really. Raining all night, raining all the morning, and it's still raining. It
In my
looks
house, now it's raining.
in your house, is it?
Yes, in
I
the morning it's raining. I wake up and it's raining. In the night it's raining.
right.
Sometimes it's raining.
I don't know if it's something like a storm or a hurricane or something. I don't know, but it has taken a lot of time. This rain, and it doesn't look like as if it's going to stop anytime. I think it's going to be here for maybe the entire day. So we have to thank God that we are in our houses right now because this gets dangerous outside, especially with car accidents and the traffic and a lot of things that go on and outside. So we have to say thank you to the Lord that we are still in our houses, protected, and we can still have our normal classes, even though we are in our houses. So thanks God for that. Okay, with the ones that we are here, because we are only 12, the rest of my students, I think they are still sleeping. Maybe the weather make them sleep longer while they add to the um, class. We are going to begin. Remember that today we are just going to see if we can discuss the stories that you're going to have in your evaluation. Okay, so today we're going to discuss those stories, and if you have questions or doubts about any of these stories, this is the perfect time. So I can help you, and that way you can be prepared for your evaluation. I won hundreds in this exam because the evaluation because of the stories is pretty easy. So please just be careful when you select the correct answer. Read correctly the question, take your time to look for the answer, remember what we discussed in class, and you can have hundreds babies in these exams. The evaluations for reading are not difficult, but most of the time you do everything too fast. You don't take enough time. You really, some of you don't even read correctly the questions. Then we have not the results that we expected from this exam. So try this time to take your time. and read carefully and think for a while before you answer the question. Okay, here we go. Estamos con Proverbios 23, chicos. Vamos a iniciar orando. Entonces, veamos, Mr. Villalobos, ¿puede por favor iniciar orando, mi corazón? Empecemos orando, chicos, ¿sí? Jesús, ¿estamos por ahí, Jesús?
Sí,
Okay.
Señor Jesús, damos las gracias por un día más de vida. Te pedimos que recibamos con bien esta clase y que les des comida a los que no tienen. Cuida a nuestras familias. En el nombre de Jesús, amén.
Amén. Excelente, gracias, Jesús. Que el Señor tenga cuidado de nosotros en las cosas grandes y también en las pequeñas. Nuestros papás, nuestras familias andan afuera, más con estas tormentas, chicos, hay que mantenernos orando, hay que estar pendientes, confiando en el Señor, pidiendo al Señor que nos guarde todo momento, ¿verdad? Él cuida y guarda nuestra entrada, así como nuestra salida, todo depende de Él, chicos, siempre. Entonces siempre debemos de estar orando, debemos de estar ahí clamando al Señor por nosotros y por toda nuestra familia, donde quiera que ellos estén. Good morning, Fernanda and Katie. Gracias por enviar su mensajito. Gracias. Good morning. Ok, vamos entonces rápidamente a leer Proverbios 23, 3. A ver, alguien que me lo lea rapidito. Levanta su manita si quiere leer Proverbios 23, 3. Ok, Fernanda Urias y Jesús Villalobos. Vamos a leer la primera versión que tengo aquí. Y Villalobos me lee la segunda que voy a colocar después de esta presentación. A ver, Fernanda, leemos, amor, por favor.
Ok, Miss, acumula verdad y sabiduría, disciplina y entendimiento, y no los cambies por nada. Proverbios 23, 23.
Excelente. Y no los cambies por nada. Fíjese bien, no los cambies por nada. Vamos a ver, Jesús, aquí está la otra.
Compra la verdad y no la vendas. La sabiduría, la enseñanza y la inteligencia.
Excelente. Si se fija, la palabra del Señor nuevamente nos está recalcando que la sabiduría es un tesoro invaluable. Tanto así que debemos tratar de acumular más sabiduría todos los días. O sea, tomar y mantener en nuestra vida mucha sabiduría, además de la verdad, disciplina y entendimiento. En ambas versiones nos dice que es necesario, ¿verdad? Que es necesario que la atesoremos, que la protejamos, que la valoremos. La sabiduría, ¿cuánto nos está hablando la sabiduría? ¿En cuántos aspectos de nuestra vida hemos estado discutiendo que necesitamos de la sabiduría? Que es la sabiduría realmente la que nos va a orientar, nos va a llevar al éxito, nos permite vivir día a día de la mejor manera, gracias a que somos sabios. ¿Cuánto necesitamos de esa sabiduría? Y hoy nos dice la palabra que no la vendas, que no la cambies. Mire, en primera versión dice, no la cambies por nada, por nada. No la cambies, esa sabiduría que vamos adquiriendo todos los días cuando oramos, cuando hablamos con el Señor, cuando leemos la palabra, cuando nuestros padres nos aconsejan, nuestros maestros nos guían con buena palabra de aliento. No cambies nada de eso. No la cambies por un momento de diversión, por ejemplo, donde vas a tomar una mala decisión, pero te vas a divertir un ratito. No la cambies por ese momento en que vas a desobedecer a tus padres y crees tú que vas a disfrutarlo. No lo disfrutarás por el resto de tu vida, ¿eh? Va a ser un breve momento, pero después tendrás que ver qué consecuencia trajo ese breve momento. La mayoría de los que deseamos obtener la sabiduría somos los que estamos dispuestos a oír. Para acumular verdad y sabiduría, Debemos escucharla. ¿Realmente usted anhela y desea la sabiduría? ¿Está poniendo atención? ¿Está usted leyendo la palabra? ¿Está escuchando lo que sus padres le dicen? Yes, Mariana?
Sorry.
Ok. Estamos realmente poniendo atención a esas palabras de sabiduría, los que queremos acumular este tesoro de la sabiduría, de la disciplina, de la verdad, del entendimiento. Somos los que ponemos atención, somos los que oímos, no los que nos cerramos a escuchar. No nos cerremos, chicos. Siempre habrá cosas que vamos a poder aprender si alguien se acerca a aconsejarnos. Hasta fíjense que yo sé que la mayoría de personas critican de manera a veces muy negativa, a veces de manera muy fuerte, y no queremos por eso que nos digan nada, porque ya sabemos que con la crítica viene también el golpe de la palabra fuerte, que no nos gusta que nos digan. Pero hasta de esas críticas podemos aprender. Muchas veces la gente que está a nuestro alrededor es un poco dura para decirnos las cosas, pero son los que realmente se están fijando en lo que estamos haciendo y sí miran clarito, right, nuestra conducta y las consecuencias que podríamos tener. Entonces, a veces cuando nos lo dicen, no nos gusta porque nos están como llamando al cambio y no queremos cambiar. Entonces, para todo hay que poner atención. Siempre hay algo que aprender. Siempre, en todo momento. ¿Ok? Escuchar a otros es señal de sabiduría, no de debilidad. A veces creemos que porque vamos a poner atención a las diferentes personas que nos aconsejan, que cuando leemos la palabra nos sentimos débiles. Es que entonces me manipulan. Es que entonces hago lo que los demás me dicen. Es que entonces trato de complacer a otros, pero no me complazco a mí mismo. ¿Realmente estamos poniendo atención? ¿Estamos dándonos cuenta si esas palabras traen sabiduría a nuestra vida? ¿Realmente nos están guiando correctamente esa palabra del Señor que estamos leyendo constantemente y a la que no le hemos querido poner atención? Debemos de escuchar. Poner atención a la sabiduría no es debilidad, todo lo contrario, es una gran fortaleza. La gente dispuesta a escuchar es la que seguirá aprendiendo y creciendo. Cuando ponemos atención a lo que nos dicen, aprendemos. Y por supuesto, de esa manera crecemos. Usted crecerá en sabiduría. Usted será después un magnífico consejero de otros. Vamos a poder ver los problemas y ver todo lo que está a nuestro alrededor con más tranquilidad y sabiendo que podemos enfrentar cualquier situación porque hemos crecido. ¿Sí? Porque lo logramos, aprendimos, entendimos. ¿Sabe? Yo le voy así rapidito, un breve testimonio mío. Fíjese que yo creo que el Señor trata con cada quien de una manera diferente en cositas distintas que necesita fortalecer. Y a mí desde muy joven el Señor trató conmigo en cuanto a mi confianza, a cómo apoyarme en Él en cuanto a la provisión de empleo. Desde que desde que yo me casé, cuando tenía como 25, 26 años, yo empecé a trabajar muy duro. Pues tuve que dejar mamá y papá y todo, entonces me tocó trabajar. Pero es sorprendente, chicos, es increíble. El Señor me fue mostrando poco a poco que las puertas las abre Él y que así como las abre, también las cierra, pero las cierra para abrir una nueva. Y he aprendido tanto en todos los años de mi vida. Cada vez que se ha cerrado una puerta en algún empleo, sí es cierto, todos nos preocupamos, ¿verdad? Tenemos responsabilidades y nos preocupamos, pero el Señor me ha demostrado que tengo que confiar en Él. Buenos días, Romeo. No hay problema, mi cielo. Está bien. Que debo de confiar en Él, que mi mirada debe de estar en Él, que Él se va a encargar. Y miren, chicos, ha sido sorprendente cómo no he pasado mucho tiempo sin trabajo. Y toco puertas, yo hago mi parte, toco puertas, ¿verdad? Voy y pido empleo. Y el Señor se ha encargado de abrir puertas increíbles. Hasta el día de hoy le puedo decir que he trabajado donde yo he querido trabajar. He visto el lugar y he dicho, ahí quiero trabajar. Y el Señor me ha abierto esa puerta, ¿verdad? Entonces, el Señor nos adiestra, nos enseña en ciertas cosas de nuestra vida. Y yo aprendí que si yo soy fiel en mi empleo, si yo me esfuerzo, si yo doy lo mejor de mí en todo momento y trabajo con alegría y llena de agradecimiento hacia el Señor, a mí el empleo nunca me va a faltar. Yo he visto la mano de Dios en mis trabajos y me he quedado sorprendida también cuando me han dado la oportunidad en esos trabajos, ¿verdad? Entonces he crecido en mi fe. Yo he conocido mucha gente que ha estado angustiada por empleos y yo he podido acercarme y decirle, mire, cálmese. Dios va a hacer esto, esto y esto, y usted debería hacer esto. Sigamos esa línea de ese plan y usted lo va a alcanzar. Y hemos podido ver cómo el Señor les ha proveído de ese empleo, les ha abierto puertas en lugares, pero que me hizo madurar a mí primero y crecer. Aprendí lo que Dios me enseñó en todos estos años. Y ahora yo puedo ayudar a otros, aconsejar a otros, guiar a otros. Así que esa sabiduría que el Señor le da a usted, esas experiencias, esas situaciones que ha tenido que enfrentar, si usted ha logrado vencerlas, gracias a la sabiduría que el Señor le ha dado a través de consejos, la palabra, sus pastores, sus padres, sus maestros. Si usted ha madurado y crecido, ahora es el momento que empecemos a aportarle a otros también esas palabras de sabiduría. Acumulamos sabiduría y debemos también compartirla. Si aún no hemos llegado a eso, si todavía nos falta crecimiento, hay que buscarla. Hay que pedirle al Señor más sabiduría. Hay que fijarse en lo que Dios nos quiere enseñar y hay que aprender con humildad la lección que el Señor nos quiere dar. Acumulemos verdad y sabiduría, chicos. Y en especial, no la cambiemos por nada ni por nadie. La sabiduría de Dios es valiosa para que triunfemos en nuestra vida. Okay, here we are. We have the two stories in reading. Two stories for our reading evaluation for this month. One is, as you remember, 5 strange sports. Remember that we read about some unusual sports and you did an activity about sports that are really different. They are really different, right, in the world, and that we learn more about them. Okay, 5 strange sports. Do we still remember some of the sports that we discussed or the sports that you sent me on your activity for this reading? Do we still remember any sport at all? Any unusual sport at all?
I remember one, but not the name. Only
Okay, the description.
yeah,
Yes,
the
Maria.
description.
Which
Because
was?
the name is so difficult. And you play volleyball with your feet.
Hey, excellent. Okay, excellent point. Thank you, Marinita. I'm going to show you this sport right away. I think I have it in this video that I'm going to show you in a couple of seconds. Another unusual sport that you still remember or that you remember investigating about when you send your activity? Someone? Do we still remember? It is going to be a great idea if we can discuss it here because we don't want to do any other activity about it again, right? So I want to.
Miss, I remember one I wrote in my activity that is bubble soccer. It's talk about are strapped into a huge inflatable bubbles which cover their head and upper body and play soccer.
Excellent, Fernanda. I remember that sport, and it looks really fun. I think this kind of a sports that we have been creating through time, it makes humans, number one, um, take away all the stress, right, of a everyday life, and motivates them at the same time. It is entertaining. They need to be really creative and have a lot of imagination. And they humans, we are happy to belong somewhere and to others at the same time. So when they get into teams, into groups, when they participate in something, I think humans, we develop that belonging sense, right? That we belong to a very special commitment, to a very special thing, to something different, to something outstanding when we get into this kind of sports. Because I have been looking at some really, really strange sports, and I think that there is a creative part of humans that needs to be motivated and to grow, right? And to grow in order to create and be a part of these weird, really weird sports. I don't find another reason, right? So we are going to watch a video and I'm going to show you. I cannot show you all the sports because the video is a little bit long, but I want to show you um, some sports, right? You're going to remember some of them because maybe you sent them on your activity and you're going to be amazed by other kind of unusual sports. So I want to present to you this video. I want you to pay attention and I want you to choose one of these 5 sports that I'm going to show you. We are going to watch 5 or 6 and I want you to choose one and it's going to be your favorite one. And I want you to tell me why it is your favorite one. Okay, so let's pay attention here.
When it comes to sports, we're pretty spoiled for choice. But if you're still looking, there are still a few options out there, far stranger than your average ball games. Some of them are truly unique, others an unusual fusion of sports from 2 completely different ends of the spectrum. From zorbing all the way to dragon boat tug of war, today's list will give you an extensive list of the strangest activities you may want to try. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss another awesome video. Okay, let's get started. Number 10. Sepak takraw. Sepak takraw is extremely popular in Southeast Asia, and actually very similar to volleyball. There's just one catch. Players can pass around the ball using any body part except for their arms. And the sport is played with a ball of dried palm leaves. The first versions of Sepak takraw were not so much of a competition, but rather cooperative displays of skill designed to exercise the body, improve dexterity, and loosen the limbs after long periods of sitting, standing, or working. But by the 1940s, the net version of the game had spread throughout Southeast Asia. Informal rules were introduced. This sport became officially known as Sepak takraw, also commonly referred to as kick volleyball. Number 9. Dragon Boat Tug of War. The Polish have invented a wild, paddling tug of war game with an awesome name. This sport has 2 groups of men rowing against each other, while sitting at opposite ends of what's called a dragon boat, which is basically a rowboat, but twice as wide and way more awesomely named. When seeing Dragon Boat Tug of War for the first time, you might wonder why the team that crossed the line is celebrating. This confuses our brains, which are wired for the normal rope version of tug of war. But dragon boat tug of war works differently. It involves out-paddling the other team, pushing them back and moving toward the center line, not away from it. Number 8. Tuk-tuk polo. Traditional polo has been adapted for horses, elephants, heck, even segways. But now, it can even be played from tuk-tuks. The sport was developed as a replacement for another version of polo played on elephant backs, which was discontinued in 2007 after one of the elephants went on a rampage. Each team consists of players riding 2 tuk-tuks. On each tuk-tuk, there's a driver and another player responsible for striking the ball. Players use short mallet-like sticks to wield the ball that is similar to a cricket ball. The objective of the sport, as with other forms of polo, is to score as many goals as possible by striking the ball through the goalposts. Number 7. Underwater football. Underwater football is a 2-team sport that shares common elements with 2 other unusual sports, like underwater hockey and underwater rugby. One thing's for sure, the impact of a tackle won't be half as bad with all that water resistance. It is played in a swimming pool using snorkeling equipment and a slightly negatively buoyant ball. The goal of the game is to maneuver the ball from one side of a pool to the other and place it within a gutter to score a point. Several ball types have been used throughout the game's history. These include a 10-pound pool brick, a junior-sized NFL-style football, and a junior-sized basketball, all with negative buoyancy. How, you ask? Easy. Air-filled balls, such as the football or basketball, can be made negatively buoyant by filling them with a liquid that is heavier than water, such as a strong saline solution or corn syrup. Number 6. Unicycle hockey. Just when you thought hockey couldn't get any more exciting, someone goes and invents unicycle hockey. That's right, unicycle hockey is a thing, and is exactly what it sounds like. Hockey played on unicycles. Each player mounts onto their unicycle during game action in order to play the ball. If you're not mounted, you're not allowed to touch the ball. Just like ice hockey, each team sends out 5 players each, and no dedicated goalie. This isn't just something that is played for fun. There are 3 national unicycle hockey leagues located in the world. Australia's league features 8 teams. Switzerland is home to about 20 teams. And Germany's league features 53 teams. Riding a unicycle without falling off is hard enough as it is, but to do it while playing a game of hockey would seem almost impossible. But hey, it's not. Number 5. Dog surfing. The world's coolest sport just got real for dogs. Historically, surfing dogs have been documented as early as the 1920s. Shortly after, competitions and exhibitions that feature surfing dogs have popped up in various coastal areas around the United States. Dog surfing involves dogs that are trained to stand on a surfboard, either alone or together with their human companion. Once they've been paddled out, their human counterpart waits for the perfect wave to come around and off they go. In dog surfing competitions, judging criteria may include the dog's overall certainty on the board, wave size, and ride length. Number 4. Ostrich racing. Yup, you heard it. Ostrich racing is real, with actual jockeys and terrifying breakneck speeds. The feathered creatures can reach an astonishing 43 miles per hour, making the races fast-paced, exciting, and a fun taste of danger. It's common for jockeys to fall off the animals when they're going too fast. The sport has a surprisingly long history. It's thought that the ancient Egyptian queen Arsinoe II was depicted riding an ostrich, and races aren't too unusual in parts of Africa. Racing has become particularly popular in the US, with the Lastimus Chandler Ostrich Festival in Arizona attracting over 100,000 visitors. The sport has attracted controversy in the past, with animal rights organizations blasting it for causing the ostriches unnecessary fear and distress. Unusual.
Okay, so this is the last unusual sport that I wanted to show you. And they are really unusual. Honestly, I was really surprised about some of them. So we saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 unusual sports. So you had 7 options. Now you can choose one and tell me why did you like it and why did you like it and which was your favorite. Okay, do I have a volunteer before I start asking one by one which of these sports were your favorite and why? Yes, Fernanda?
My favorite probably was tic polo because it's a bit fun and interesting how people play polo in a small court. But nevertheless, it seems very difficult to play like that since you reduce its space, and so it will be more difficult to win the game. I think that you will have to be super professional, or you will train a lot to be able to play tic polo.
Yeah, and I think after a while it tends to become kind of a little bit boring because those little taxi cars moving around and hanging outside the car most of the time, I think that is going to be tiresome and it takes to come become a little bit boring. But that was a good sport. I liked it. Yes, someone else? No? Okay, let me ask you then. Yes, Mariana, beautiful.
I this is a little bit difficult name. And sepak tak takraw.
Tug of war, the one in boats?
Takaward. Yes, yes, that. And you I think that the sport practice in Thailandia and Malaysia.
Oh, but then you're talking about kickball.
Yes.
Ah, okay, not tug of war. Tug of war was with those boats that they were each of them pulling the other. Okay, with
No, no,
all
no,
the
no,
strength.
not is
No,
that. You play with
with your
the.
you play
What do you
ball with
say,
your
sir?
buddy. Volleyball.
Yes, 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 that.
Yeah. And why did you like that one?
Because I think Messi it's a principal in the incorporation.
Okay, yes, it's very creative now. We can play with our entire body, but not with our arms. Remember? Yeah, I like
Yes,
that
it's a
one too.
little bit crazy.
I know. I know. Okay, who else? Let me see. One of my sport fans here. I think he's a sport fan. David. Tell me, David, which one did you like the best and why? David Fuentes. Are we here, David? 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 No? Mr. David Salayandia. Are we here, David? David Salayandia? Hello? 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 Are we in class? No? Okay. Let's see who else. Mr. Oscar Velasquez. Hello, Oscar. Are we here, Oscar? Hello? Hello? Are we in class? No? I have 3 students that are not in class. Mr. Mr. Romeo. Which one did you like the most, Romeo? Are we here, Romeo? Yes, yes.
I
Excellent.
think that my favorite was the dog surfing.
Oh, yes. That is one of my favorite ones too. The dog surfing. Why? Why did
Yeah,
you like that one?
I think because it's so funny watching some dogs surfing.
And imagine I cannot surf. And these puppies, they are experts. Right? But they were fun, really. Thank you, Romeo.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
and
it's my second favorite because it's really like cute and impressive to see how a puppy can serve and maintain his balance. I think it will be very difficult. I thought sometimes they can go surfing with their owners, but I still see complicated in the same way.
yeah, right. But the ability of these animals, it's amazing,
Yes,
right?
I think that
Yes.
too. That dog are cute.
Yeah, and they are cute. Yes, I know. I can only imagine my puppy in those surfboards. Oh God, I will get really nervous and scared for him, but he will look so cute. Okay, the second reading, babies, was Tough Man. Remember, we continue with more competition and sports, but this time this was a race to the limit. This was a really complicated and hard competition. As I told you, this is like the challenge, how to challenge yourself. That is why people get into these kind of competitions. It's a personal challenge, challenge to your own self, your minds, your bodies, okay? And it's a kind of a way to prove uh, that you're still capable, that you're alive. And they use their imagination and they use their strength and everything they got, right? When they participate in this kind of unusual sports. Let's just read it really fast so we can remember this story before we end the class. Do I have reading volunteers? Or do you want me to choose? Okay, we begin with Mr. Romeo. We continue with Alessandro and Fernanda. So Romeo, Alessandro, Fernanda. We continue with Ashley, Daniel Aleman, and that's it. Okay, let's start reading.
Okay. What is a tough man? Every January, more than 3,000 people take part in one of the most difficult races on the earth, the Tough Man competition in the UK. Participants run, swim, and climb around the 15 kilometers course. But this is no normal race. These runners have to crawl through tunnels, run across a field of needles, and jump over fire.
Okay, thank you, baby. Excellent. So here we have the brief description, a short description of what a tough man race to the limit is about. They crawl through tunnels, they run across fields, they also run across nettles and jump over fire. Imagine that really is stressful and very dangerous. Okay, let's continue. What more? What's more? Yes, Fernanda.
Okay, Miss. What's more, the competition takes place in January, so temperatures are freezing, sometimes as low as -6 Celsius. People travel from all over the world to take part with participants from South Africa, Australia, and China.
Why do people take part? Let's continue, Fernanda.
Okay, the competition is quite dangerous and every year there are accidents. Injuries like broken bones and cuts are quite common.
Okay,
There,
thank you, sweetie. Thank you, Angel.
okay, Miss.
Okay, dangerous and everything, so we can see injuries and accidents. Okay, one more, just to complete this section. Who was next? Alessandro. Alessandro. Okay, then after Alessandro, I said Ashley. Are we there, Ashley? No? Okay, the race is very hard. 1/3 of the participants do not finish. Runners have to be very fit and healthy, and most people train all year to prepare for the event. Okay, I think this is common in everything that we have read. They need to train, they need to do their best, they invest time, they invest their health, okay, and they uh, do the best for their body. So that is everything that they obtain from this kind of sports. Love you guys. Have a fantastic week. Okay, questions and doubts, text me. Okay, text me. Good luck in your evaluation. I love you. Bye bye,
Thank
sweeties.
you, Miss. We love you
Thank you,
too.
Bye,
Miss.
girls.
Bye,
Goodbye.
Bye, babies.